What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the PS5 Career Mode. This is episode number 42. And we start today's stuff with a look at our fixtures for November, as we've just got through October. As you can see, two of our final three Europa League games and a chance to qualify, and three massive ones in the Premier League. Well, really four massive ones in the Premier League. We've got Manchester United and Liverpool both at home, Arsenal away, and Villa away at Villa Park, who last season did really well too. We've got some big games coming this month, man, and lots of football to be played, lots of squad rotation, I'm sure. Still start today's off with an academy update. You can see our best youth players so far. I've got to be honest here, Mark Bassey does look the best right now. Right back looks absolutely superb. And heading into the first game of 8 in today's episode. Yes, another big bumper episode. We take on Victoria Poulsen here in match day 4 of the Europa League, where a win in this game, Rapid Vienna, my apologies, Rapid Vienna in match day 4 in the Europa League, where of course the last minute winner by Charlie Kelman in the game in a reverse fixture in Austria meant heading into this game, a win in this one would mean we guarantee qualification with 2 games to spare, providing Villarreal would not drop points against Victoria Poulsen. So feeling very confident indeed, and heading into the game, might not got the goal, but he did get the assist. Great start this year for Charlie Kelman, and David Silva with a burst of pace. Yep, you heard me right. David Silva with a burst of pace at 38 years old scores his first goal of the season, makes it 1-0, and it really was the Charlie Kelman and David Silva show in this game. They both scored and both assisted each other in a 2-0 victory, and that is that. Qualification secured to the Europa League round of 32 with a game to spare. You love to see it. And yeah, I'm really pleased about that as well, because at the start of the group when it was drawn, I was saying, this could be a tough group, you know. I do think we've got what it takes to get through, and I think we are the second favourites, but this could be a tough group. Well, in the end, it didn't pan out that way at all. Things could have been different had we failed to get the win against Rapid Vienna and we didn't score that leveler against Villarreal. The table would look completely different, but in the end, because of Kelman's late heroics and the leveler by Nketiah at home to the Spanish side Villarreal too, in the end, it does mean that with 2 games spare, yeah, qualification in the bag, 9 points clear of both Poulsen and Rapid Vienna, and we are into the knockout stage. And to be honest, whilst we'd love to top the group, I don't really care now. We got through, that's the most important thing. So for our final 2 games, I'll field backup sides. So for the second game of today's episode here, a much bigger one, as we would take on Liverpool, the champions here at the Kiyan Prince Foundation Stadium, aiming to get our first scalp of the save in a Premier League match here, and taking on last year's winners. They would take lead through Mo Salah. I got that terribly wrong for the first goal as well. Kind of got in Freddie Woodman's way, really, as the Egyptian who won the Golden Boot last year made it 1-0. Last year's runner-up in the race for the Golden Boot, Nketiah, got us back on level terms. So a great battle here between last year's top 2 scorers and this year's current Golden Boot race winner in Eddie Nketiah. Divock Origi would come off the bench to make it 2-1 for the Red Stoat in the second half, as they would get the 3 points. And in the end, all the attention on Salah and Nketiah, they both scored in the game, but the guy that ran the show for Liverpool, got both assists for them, Curtis Jones. Young Curtis Jones in that game turned his like prime Iniesta. I couldn't stop him. It was brilliant in a 2-1 victory for Liverpool, as unfortunately we do lose there in West London. And so for our following game, third of today's episode, no wins in our last 2 in the Premier League, 1 in our last 4, taking on Villa away at Villa Park. I did say this could be a tough game. Last year they did very well. We fell behind incredibly early through Cabral. 22 minutes to go, Ben White goes up for a corner, lands awkwardly and stays down as well, and from that Villa broke. The referee didn't pull play back. They deemed he was okay to get up and carry on. Villa played on. They took advantage of us being a man light and a centre-back light. It was still the opposition penalty area at this point, and once again a carbon copy. Villa played through 1-on-1, and when am I going to learn my lesson? Stop bringing your bloody goalkeeper out, Docs. You know chip shots are OP. You talked about it all FIFA long. Once again, I bring Freddie way off his line. I'm dinked over the top, and Villa make it 2. So 2-0 the final score. Villa get the win. 1 win in our last 5 Premier League games now for QPR. None in our last 3. Really tough patch of form. And now Ben White, our big money signing from Burnley, has got another injury. He's got another injury. He got injured against Bournemouth earlier on in the campaign, and now he's dislocated his shoulder and is going to be out for 2 months. Absolutely massive blow right there, and all I can say is this: I'm so glad we got Big Josh out of the academy, and I'm so glad I signed Chris Smalling as a veteran on a cheap transfer as well. We really needed those 2 defenders this year to cover with our injury crisis, and thankfully at the moment as well, when they get into game time, the old man and the young kid are stepping up as well. And so for our following game of today's episode, taking on Victoria Poulsen on match day 5 in Europa League. Again, the game meaning pretty much nothing with qualification already secured. The game did have some significance, because with 5 minutes to go in the first half, as we were leading by a goal, It is the first goal for Big Josh in his professional career, and you absolutely love to see it. It was actually a free kick he won himself, by the way, just inside the Poison half. Lewis Baker dinks it in just inside the area, and of course, if Big Josh is going to score his first goal for the club, how's he going to score it? A header. Of course it is. He's 6'6" for Christ's sake. He shouldn't be losing any aerial duels. Nods it in from just inside the area. Well, I say nods it in. Loops it over the goalkeeper from just inside the area. A brilliant header from Josh, and a fantastic man of the match display from the 17-year-old as well. Too young for the champagne, so I'll of course take that off his hands, but 1-0 the final score there. It does mean heading to the final game of the Europa League group stage. Us and Villarreal are still tied for points. We've both got 13, so if we win in Spain, we'll leapfrog them and go top, but if they avoid defeat, they will hold on to top spot and qualify as group winners. Not that I really mind too much. Still, for our following game of today's episode, taking on Manchester United here as the Red Devils will come and take us on the Crown Prince Foundation Stadium. 30 minutes into the game, we would take the lead. Yes, Charles Bull with his second goal of the season, sprinting in from the left-hand side and drilling it past Dean Henderson to give us the lead here and go in front in West London. Great finish by Charles. As we know, last season he added goals to his game as well as assists too. That's his second of the year. I'd love it if he could get to double digits this year for goals for the first time in his career. That would be fantastic. So leading by 1 right before the break, still up by a single goal. The Red Devils looking to respond. Great ball by Bruno Fernandes, and Chong fires wide. Golden chance in a half-win, defended really well, but sadly could not hit the target for them. So still leading by 1, defensively doing really well in this game, and with 15 minutes to go. Oh yes! How about that? Charles with one of his best assists in professional football. That was incredible. He dribbled out of play idiotically with me. I know, it was really stupid for me. I don't know what I was doing there on the left-hand side, but from the throw-in, Manchester United lazy, not concentrating, give it away. Charles intercepts with the chest, and then I love the flick as he splits 2 red shirts, and look at this. Can you call it a scorpion kick assist? Not really, but we will. Flicks it through to Eddie Nketiah, pops it through the legs of Dean Henderson, and QPR lead by 2-0. From that moment there, I was literally just like, all backs to the wall, hold on to this win in our first league scalp of this series, as Odegaard was denied by Woodman with 5 minutes to go. We'd not only get the win, but keep the clean sheet as well, and there it is, it's all over. Finally, we've got our first scalp in a Premier League game as we beat Manchester United by 2-0. Honestly, I felt like Ralph Hasenhüttl the other night when he beat Liverpool. I was absolutely buzzing, finally, and I know we beat them in the FA Cup semi-final, but this is our first Premier League scalp. 2-0 the final score, and of course, Charles Bull getting the goal and the assist, my man of the match, absolutely superb in that game. And just real briefly on the Hasenhüttl incident as well, I call it an incident, it really shouldn't even be talked about, but the criticism he got from Simon Jordan, ex-Palace chairman, and also Fabio Capello, of course well-known manager, for showing emotion. Get stuffed and get in the bin. Are you serious? Last year the guy was a figure of ridicule. Their 9-0 thrashing to Leicester, being talked about getting the sack. So much growth in the last year Ralph Hasenhüttl has shown, and he's you know, honestly got Southampton playing so well this season. You know, he's been through so much personally and in his career as well. And you're going to criticise him for showing emotion in a time where mental health issues are through the roof, and men are always taught they've got to be strong, masculine men, they can't show emotion, they've got to keep their guard up. The dude has just got his first points off Jurgen Klopp, one of the best managers in the game, and you're going to show emotion because they've just beaten the English champions. Get stuffed, honestly. Nothing wrong with the manager showing emotion like that. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous to even criticise him for showing his emotion like that. It was passion, and it was lovely to see for all he's been through, not in his career, but also recently as well, with the coronavirus tests to his family. Sorry, but I don't understand why it was even a talking point. You know, his first points against Jurgen Klopp, again, massive win against the English champions. Southampton playing so well, he's turned him into a genuine top 6 contender from last year when, again, they were humiliated by Leicester. He was the figure of ridicule back then. What he's done, come on man, seriously, get over yourself. That is just toxic masculinity in its purest form, honestly. We're just ridiculous. Still, taking on Arsenal for the following game in today's episode here, away in North London, looking to get back-to-back scalps, and we had a golden chance to do it as well. We were 2-0 up in the first half, Charles scored an incredible goal, and then Eze made it 2-0, but in the second half, I've talked about it before, we've been in these positions before, and the Gunners this season, of course, struggling as well, right down the bottom of the table right now, just above the relegation zone. I don't know what it is, but I really feel the pressure, especially Derby away from home, and as we were leading by 2-0, the first goal was my error, trying to play out from the back of Rinomota, giving it away. The Gunners half in deficit, and there was 7 minutes to go, clinging on to a big 3 points and back-to-back scalps. A really misfortunate goal there. Shot well saved by Freddie, the deflection ricochets right back to DCL, and the former Toffee heads in to make it 2-2 as Arsenal battle back from 2 goals down to claim a point at the Emirates Stadium. Gutted about that as well, because played so well. The first goal was my error, hold my hands on it out back, but the second goal so unlucky in a 2-2 draw. It's still not a bad result, I suppose, against an Arsenal team right now. Whilst they are out of form, still a decent one. But following the game, we did see this. Charlie Kelman sadly broke his toe. I looked over the footage and I couldn't find where it happened. I saw him get the plus sign added to his name during the game, but I couldn't see where the injury occurred. But he's broken his toe. He's out for 3 months, and that's gutting as well, because Charlie this season has got off to a really, really good start. Still, as we enter December, we are in 9th place, 7 wins in our first 15 games, and right outside the Europa League places right now. Whilst we are in 9th, it's been a really, really good season for us. Again, 7 wins in 15 games, our first scalp of the series in the Premier League too. We played some really good football, even against the big boys this season. I'm happy with how we started this season off, and whilst we are outside where the ball wants to finish, there's a long way to go, and there's been a lot of positives to take with us heading into the January transfer window. And speaking of, you see our final fixtures for December, with January transfer window right around the corner, I had to do it. The cycling GK, as we know, he doesn't want to retire just yet, even at the ripe old age of 40. Ben Foster signs a 1-year extension. He's now got a year and a half left on this deal, and I'm absolutely buzzing as well. He took a 10 grand a week pay cut to stay on as well, and he said it's because, you know what, you guys in the cafeteria have now got to spend so much money on ketchup now that I'm here, because if you watch the cycling GK, you'll know he loves his tomato ketchup, just like me. I love my ketchup as well. I put it on practically everything I eat for dinner. But Ben Foster, the cycling GK, staying on. Come on, the boys, you love to see it. And really pleased that he's extended his contract here for another year and a half as well. I think he'll probably retire at the end of next season. I can't see him still be playing at like 42 years old, but I guess you never know. Still, following that as well, you did see Mark Bassey. I did decide to give him a pro deal because I'm very excited about this young man. He's got the exciting prospect tag, 5-star skill moves, 5'11", left-footed right back that can play on either side. I think he's already got 85 strength as well, so he might not have as much potential as Josh, but he certainly has a very bright future as well. So 2 really good Nigerian players now in our first team squad. And for our penultimate game of today's episode, 7th of 8, taking on Ralph Hasenhüttl, Southampton here at the Kyan Prince Foundation Stadium, aiming to get back to winning ways on the back of the draw there against Arsenal. Taking on Ralph's boys, golden chance to score in the first half. That shot just wide the post, and then right before the hour mark, golden chance again to take the lead. Charles stormed down left hand side, keeps on going, stops on a dime, rolls it across, and Andy has his shot trickled just wide over the far post. 0-0 the final score, so disappointing slip up there. No wins in our last 2 Premier League games, and whilst the Manchester United victory was a very poignant moment, not just in the series but perhaps for us as a team with QPR as well, it is worth pointing out it's been a pretty tough run recently for the R's, and for our final game of today's episode, travelling to Spain against Villarreal in the final match of the Europa League group stage, where again, due to the group standings, only a win would take us top of the group. Anything other than that, a draw or of course a defeat, would mean we'd finish as runners up in the group. Qualification already in the bag though. I did decide to field a weakened side, and as you'll see, 35 minutes in, great save by 40-year-old Ben Foster, keeping it at 0-0, and with 15 minutes to go, Villarreal would find a game winner. Ontiveros rolling it through to Dominguez, who finishes from close range, and in a 1-0 loss as we close out the group and do end as runners up in second place, exactly what I predicted at the start of the group. That is now just 2 wins in our last 7 games in all competitions for QPR. Yeah, it's not been a bad first half of the season, don't get me wrong, as we have secured qualifications to around 32 of the Europa League, and we're still in the top 10 in the Premier League right now. However, a very troubling recent run for the R's as we close out the first half of the season and close out December as well. We'll need to pick it up, because not before long in a very competitive division like this, if we continue to struggle, we'll be way outside of a European place. But that won't this episode of the PS5 Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode, where we officially end the calendar year of our final fixtures of December. See the draw for our FA Cup third round, the draw for the last 32 of the Europa League, and open the January transfer window, where there's still a little bit of money remaining in the budget as well. Very soon.